Stephen A. Smith and his beef with LeBron James, man. That shit getting serious now. That shit getting serious. Uh, Stephen A. Smith said he would have slapped LeBron James, bro. He would have slapped him. Why you ain't say that in his face when you had the chance to? This is what happened the last time they met up.
You're a fraud.
This what should have happened. This what should have happened that night, man.
You're a fraud.
Like, I don't know. I don't know if LeBron's swinging off rip. I don't know if LeBron doing that. He probably picking them up, throwing them. Then he gonna start swinging. That's LeBron. That's LeBron. Here's Emmanuel Acho talking about the situation.
If you want to have an opinion, you can't be soft. Yo, sports analysts and opinionists, myself included, we got to stop being so soft. If you want to have an opinion, you can't be soft. Pick a struggle. I'm looking at all this LeBron James, Stephen A. Smith beef, and analysts need to get called out at times, and we need to get checked too. And with all due respect, half the times, analysts that simply sit behind a desk and never played a game, they're not really the athlete's friend. You talk about athletes, so you think you friends because you got loose lips, but half the time you're not really an athlete's friend. Furthermore, if we have the audacity to get on national television and spew our opinion, because more often than not, people on TV aren't analysts. They can't really break down the game because they never really played the game at a high level, or don't really understand the game because they haven't taken the time to truly learn the game. So if you're going to speak an opinion on something, and it will more often than not be inaccurate, you got to be able to deal with it when an athlete claps back at you. You got to be able to deal with it when an athlete calls you out. You got to be able to deal with it when an athlete says something that you may not like, because more often than not, to a national audience on a daily basis, you are saying something about an athlete that the athlete doesn't like. But soft. Why are we so sensitive and so soft?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith, he taking this serious, man. He know in real life LeBron James be in his ass. He know what's happening in real life, bro. But when he get behind camera, that's when he's saying that he would have slapped LeBron James. Like, come on, be for real, bro. Be for real, Stephen A. You know I love you, but come on, man. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Immediately swung on him. And
Look.
that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately. That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately. That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him.
Stop capping.
Immediately.
Stop capping, bro. Stop capping. But I think he did this for views, man. This video got a lot of views. This video got a lot of views, man.
You don't pop niggas. You went live and said you went live and said you pop niggas. You don't pop niggas. You went live and said you whoop niggas. You don't whoop niggas. You went live and said niggas know how you get down. Nobody know how you get down. You went live.
You talking about Stephen A. Stephen A, you an analyst. Now you talking about you would have smacked LeBron James? Like, come on, man, be for real. LeBron James 6'8", what, 250, 260? Stephen A. Smith, I don't know how big he is, but I'm pretty sure LeBron James be in his eye. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah.
Like, Stephen A, be for real, dog.
Yeah, push.
Stephen A, be for real.
Clean up the upcut move. Raise him up. Yeah, make it more free. Yeah, push.
Ain't no way you beating LeBron James' ass like this, bro. Ain't no way. You're not going back to your younger days. You're not going back to your younger days to beat LeBron. You're not in the condition to go toe-to-toe with LeBron. You not. You not.
Yeah, make it more free. Yeah, push. Clean up the
He gonna need a Zuti, man. He gonna need a Zuti for LeBron James. Definitely gonna need that. Definitely. They said this Stephen A. This Stephen A. Smith right here. This is what they say.
He want to fight. That nigga don't even want to fight for you.
Yeah.
Nigga start sliding. Nigga start sliding. Nigga slide. Nigga slide. If a nigga slide. If a nigga slide. If a nigga slide. If a nigga.
Like Stephen A. One thing I understand that he's trying to do is like he know LeBron James is an NBA player. You know, you're gonna put your career on the line by actually tussling with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, he think all athletes are soft because they know what's in line. You know, they got a bag, so they definitely gonna have to behave. You know, if you're an NFL player, you're gonna have to behave everywhere you go, or somebody could expose you and make money off of it. To be honest, man, and Stephen A. Smith, he using that to his advantage, beefing with LeBron James. He's smart. He's smart.
Nigga slide. I'm gonna wrap him down. Alright. Nigga slide.
All that talking shit. You ain't gonna slide on shit, boy. Chill out, man. Come on, man. You ain't got to keep throwing water, man. Chill out, bro.
I ain't, but if a nigga slide, then y'all nigga know what the fuck.
That's he funny, man. He funny.
LeBron appeared on the Pat McAfee show today and made a few headlines with his thoughts on a number of topics, including yours truly. For those of you who didn't see it, I'll play it for you right here. This is LeBron James on Pat McAfee talking about me.
Which leads, obviously, to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're watching it. We're also.
LeBron throwing shade off rip. But he being polite, though. He being polite.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, well, viral. You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to.
That's lit, though. Pat McAfee got LeBron James on this platform, man. You don't really see LeBron James on these platforms like this. You don't really see it. So this is an elite interview right here. Elite.
Talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again.
LeBron funny. You see, LeBron, he's not hostile about it, but he's saying something different in his head.
Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair and his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance. But you're right.
Dude, like relax, bro. Like relax.
Tighty Whitey's comment was funny because I don't wear tighty whities. Let you figure out why that is. But moving on from that particular subject, I don't happen to consider anything that LeBron has said a laughing matter. So y'all wanted me to be serious, I'll be serious. And I know there's some people out there that's going to be like, oh, I'm milking the story for all it's worth. Well, I've been winning in television for quite some time. I don't need an incident like this to talk about LeBron, and I don't need an incident like this to get ratings. LeBron gives us plenty of ammunition to talk about him, both good and bad. So let's get that out the way first. Let's also get out the way that major props to Pat McAfee for getting that interview. There's a lot of people that's been texting me, and he's a teammate. He's on ESPN. Why would he do that? Please, y'all, be quiet. Pat McAfee did nothing wrong. Pat McAfee did his job. Pat McAfee has a show that airs on ESPN. You have an opportunity to get LeBron James, you take him. I don't give a damn who you are. This is one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. You get him. If you have an opportunity to get him, you get him. And I didn't think that Pat McAfee disrespected me or did me wrong in any way. He did his job, and I got no problems with it. My issue is with LeBron James. And I just want to say for the record, LeBron James is full of it. And in this particular instance, as it pertains to his son, he is a liar. And he went on national television today and he lied again. You see, when he approached me while I was sitting courtside at that game against the New York Knicks, when he rolled up on me, I didn't know he was going to roll up on me. I had no idea. But when he said what he had,
LeBron looked like he was about to swing on him. LeBron looked like he was about to swing. Bah! One good hit, bro. I wonder what would happen. Would LeBron get ejected if that ever happened?
had to say, I was in no position to give any kind of retort without making a scene. It was during the third quarter. It was fresh out of a timeout. It was him walking to the basketball court. It was on national television. The cameras were rolling. And had I done something, what do y'all want me to do? You want me to act? You want this to be a reincarnation of Chris Rock and Will Smith? And let me state for the record that while we bring up that, let me assure you it wouldn't have gone down like that. I would have gotten my ass kicked, because had that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately. That I'm not going to tolerate. But I knew he wasn't going to do something like that. There was no fear in my mind about it. It was shock. Because as I have repeatedly stated, I was not talking about his son.
But if you know that he going to beat your ass, why would you ever swing on him? Why would you even say that on camera, to be honest? Certain things you just keep to yourself. You should have just kept that to yourself and kept it pushing. But you took it too far when you said that. Took it too far, man. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron James really beat your ass, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was talking about him. And whether it's the video that you saw him a couple of days later after that incident when he was talking to Richard Jefferson, my colleague at ESPN, before an ABC game in Boston when it got blown out that night by the Celtics, or in the aftermath of it, including Pat McAfee's show when he talked about me getting personal and taking it beyond basketball, I'm getting to a point where I'm getting very annoyed at people who cover the game of basketball, who cover professional sports, pundits out there, including him, his inner circle, his family members, and everybody else included. When are y'all going to ask him or hold him accountable for the truth? I have not been talking about Bronny James. I have not, as LeBron James.
Man. Come on, Stephanie. Gotta do better. Gotta do better, man. I heard you try his son last week. And I know it was you.
Accused me of doing to my face, been shitting on his son. I clapped back at D Wade and Melo, two brothers I love dearly, when they were talking about this, even though 99% of the stuff they said was right. It was not clapping back at his son. Your second round pick, 55th overall. There's been plenty of second round picks that have to work their way up through the ranks before getting to the pro level. Me pointing that out about his son and talking about how his son has been pushed to the forefront, thereby put in a line of fire for folks in the media to come at him, is not denigrating his son. It's simply highlighting what we all knew, which is that he's not ready yet. But based on what we've seen from Bronny recently, there are indications that he will be. And as LeBron James pointed out on the Pat McAfee show today, it's probably sooner than later, because his growth and his maturation from just a year ago has happened by leaps and bounds. Nothing but respect and appreciation. Wishing Bronny nothing but the best. This is not about Bronny. This is about LeBron. This is about LeBron. And when you sit up there and you talk about I love talking about. I don't need something like this to happen to talk about LeBron. He plays for the Lakers. He is LeBron James. I don't need an incident like this to talk about LeBron James. And do I use him for ratings? You're damn right. Like I use anything in the news for ratings. Because I'm a reporter and a personality and a pundit and a commentator. That's my career. Of course I talk about him. Of course I talk about anything relevant in the news. 1 minute it's LeBron, another minute it's the Cowboys. Y'all act like that's all I talk about. For 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week live, all I talk about is LeBron and the Cowboys. Are you sure? Because I can pick a whole bunch of things I've gotten in trouble for opening my mouth about. But that's neither here nor there. Because let's not get distracted from the real point at hand. The real point at hand is this. LeBron James continues to lie. He hoodwinked y'all into thinking that he was upset about criticism about his son. If your son is a professional basketball player, and I was talking about your son as a basketball player, since you just went on Pat McAfee's show and said you would never knock anybody for talking about the game, then what is it that I said? What I said was, as a father, stop. I wasn't talking about you as a father, as somebody that's home minding your business, and I just call you out because your son is in this position. That's not the father I've been talking about. That's why I've been addressing Draymond Green, who's been an avid supporter of LeBron on this matter. All I'm asking is for comprehension of the actual point. How do you mention Bronny James without bringing up how he got drafted by the Lakers? How he got drafted, period. How do you bring that up without bringing up LeBron James saying he was better than some NBA players before he got to the NBA? How do you bring that up without bringing up that LeBron James said, quote, if you want me, draft my son. At this point, it ain't about the money. I'll play for free. That was LeBron. How is it? I mean, I understand cynics. I understand this penchant to just hate the player and not the game. I understand how it's tempting to just come at me because you might dislike me or might disagree.
I'm going to show you what he said right after this. I'm going to show you what he said, man.
I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service. I never really brought up or discussed why you did not attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction when that man was directly responsible for you capturing a championship for the first time in your career. I brought up none of that. I never brought up.
Yeah, he want all the smoke now. He definitely want all the smoke, man. Definitely want all the smoke. I think it's over for Stephen A. It's probably not over, but it might be over, man. It might be over.